love and perfect trust. Such powerful and inspiring words, spoken by some of the most powerful and inspirational Wiccan people. What does this phrase mean? And as all smart-ass people will say, like myself, what the fuck you mean by perfect? I just finished studying it, so here's my take on it. We as Wiccan men and women, for the most part, law-abiding citizens, correct? We may occasionally run that red light when we're late for work, but not necessarily speak up when that cashier gives you $5 extra back. But we don't draw the line. We abide by state and federal laws, so religious laws should be no different. Now, I'm not saying that every Wiccan uses the Wiccan read. Excuse me. Some are followers of the older faith and don't choose to abide by the new rules. Just as we need to accept all faiths, we need to accept that those who may not use the read are not evil or weird or freaks, just different like you and me. Back to what I was saying, though. Imperfect love and imperfect trust has been debated a lot as truth, and not even within the Wiccan community. On it, is that true? There is no such thing as a literal perfect, except when speaking of the divine. They are the only perfection. That's why perfection is unattainable. We are all made perfectly, but even so, it is at our core simply because we come from the gods. However, at the same time, we are all imperfect as well. That is simply because the physical plane has to be imperfect. In fact, to have symmetry of our limbs, eyes, even our bosoms as women are unsymmetrical. So we come from utter perfection, but in order to be on this plane, we must be imperfect. But as we delve deeper and deeper into this faith, seeking out the answers of this universe, we try to somehow reach or see one tiny aspect of divinity. We already know of it, but no one truly sees it. The true aspect of divinity is love. It seemed so simple to me at first, but after reading this article at The Witch's Voice by Silver Eagle, it became clear that it was far from it. He wrote, "There is a lot of resistance to this practice for most of us. We have within us a pseudo-self that treasures the illusion. It is important for us to question this self." And close quote. We love Lady Luna and Helios because we trust them to always have our best interest in mind. We all have gone through many tests just by surviving childbirth, and we have endured many more since. And we will not be done until we cross the other side of that veil. Once we do, we know that the goddess has shown us enough for this life, and it is time to start over. She loves us enough to put us through these trials, and Helios gives us the light and warmth that we need to see that we all have the strength to persevere. And we love her because we maintain her strength in all we do. Every person is of the goddess, and though you may not even know him or her, but you love them, this is because inside they are of the goddess. Now that I've covered love and perfect, how about trust? Trust is a very touchy thing for me. It has always been very hard for me. Because of my tests, I have learned, like most others, that every person is not worth trusting. Even though they look or act or may even seem like the best person. They have gone through almost everything I have. So, what in this wide world and beyond makes you think that everyone will not take your kindness and run with it for miles and onward? Perfect trust is not naive. Perfect trust and perfect love are able to check each other. If I don't trust them, I cannot love them, and vice versa. And just because a person says that they believe in this statement, or even Wiccan or pagan, does not necessarily mean that they deserve your trust, or even mean what they say. Perfect trust demands intelligence, and especially within our own limited trust of others in this day and age. Anyone can stab you in the back, and if they truly are of merit, they won't mind if you question their means. This is your life, your body, your mind, and your spirit. Let no one, be they man, beast, deity, inanimate, or alive, take away your right to do what is right and righteous for yourself. Be selfish. That is your right. And yes, included in this is the event of you taking away your own voice. Trust and love yourself. We all know that self-confidence and self-love ride in the same boat. Confidence is trust. So have the confidence in your stride and dance among the unenlightened. Now, because each aspect of this phrase has been questioned, how do we combine the three to make this nifty Wiccan phrase? You love as the gods do, and trust in the gods and fate itself. By agreeing to enter this circle, you are vulnerable. But because you are of the gods, and are able to love perfectly, and have perfect faith in the universe and your own will and intentions, you may choose to surrender any psychological barriers and enter, or say, I am not ready to give up my distrust and stand. You have the choice to make that decision. You are not forced to enter, so work to attain that light inside of you, and do not enter until you are ready to surrender all your troubles to the divine. I know I have a long way to go, so don't feel alone. So what have you learned? Perfect is simply of the divine. Because we are of the gods, we have the gift of love, as well as free will, to give trust and question our surroundings. So to invoke perfect love and perfect trust is to say, you and I are of the gods, and we both are going to follow their will and serve them to the best of our ability, because that is why we are here. That is why she dances so freely, and that is why I am saying this explanation. Whoa.